Hi gamers, SFG here, and we're doing a Shadows of Forbidden Gods video. This time we're doing a bit of a tutorial. I'm going to cover, it's been requested this as on the channel, so I'm going to cover magic, and in particular I'm going to cover death magic. Okay, so we're going to focus on death magic. I've done 2 preview videos on this, on sort of magic generally, before it was fully released. There'll be a link popping up for that in a second, and in those videos we kind of touch on death, we touch on geomancy, in a fairly, I think I went into some detail, but probably not as much as what people would want. And I have covered blood magic in my latest Yasta playthrough. There'll be a link popping up hopefully for that any second now. But also sort of generally as well, I think I've covered a little bit of blood. So you've got a couple of sources there, but I haven't really gone into massive detail on death or on geomancy magic in particular. So I'm going to use this video to kind of give you an idea of how to play death, and this is on version 0.9, so hopefully it's current for you guys. The first thing I'm going to do is just summon a Warlock. The reason I'm doing this just on screen is because as of now there is no death specific agent, right? So we've got the survivor, who is a geomancy agent, starts at level 2 geomancy, but we haven't got anyone that starts at level 2 blood or death, and it's actually a bit of a weakness for death, because nor can we just recruit corruptible heroes. Heroes will never study death as the game at the moment, so we can't even take from the hero base. Okay, so what you need to do here is you obviously click on your Warlock, you click anywhere with the library, which will be this one, thank you, and you click Mastery of Death if you want them to go that way. Now, one thing I have done in the 25 turns I've been playing before I've summoned this Warlock is that let's just learn Arcane Secret while we're here. I've started, or I did sort of kind of start to infiltrate the locations that have got libraries. Okay, so I've looked for the locations of libraries. There's one here, there's one here, and I've just infiltrated those just to get our mage some arcane secrets fairly quick. Even if we don't use them, it's still useful to do. Another really useful thing to do at the start of the game is just to see if there's any wars going on, and I believe there is in this game. So have a quick game. Yeah, there we are. So there's going to be death around here, guys. So if we click on some of these modifiers, look, you'll see death, right? That's what we use as death mages, as necromancers, or whatever we want to call ourselves. So there is things here for us to use, and you want to check out where this is. The other thing that you should probably look for is a modifier. Press 6, have a look on the modifier. Sorry, points of interest. So actually, you could do this. You could do death here, like this, look, and you could search this way. There's probably nothing down where I am. No, look, no death near here. That can change, but for now, there's no death. So we're going to have to travel our guy upwards to make use of death, or we're going to have to make it, create it ourselves, right? That presents you with a couple of options. Like, you don't want to necessarily, look, show you something here. This area is right near the Elder Tomb. There's also little orcs, but whatever. But it's near the Elder Tomb, guys. So if I, let's say, ravage this place with plague to create a load of death, right? Well, forget the Dark Empire then. That goes out the window, because you just sort of, forgive me for using this terminology, but you're shitting on your own doorstep. You're kind of making a problem for yourself in a way. So you've got to think a bit further ahead when you're using magic, and particularly with death, or, well, all of them to be honest, but death, you need to think, right, where am I going to get this death from, and how am I going to generate that death? And then another thing falls into that, and that's using the POI finder here. There's a new point of interest that's been added called Catacombs. Click on that. We'll have a look, see if we can find any here. So there's one here. That's quite local, actually. There's one here. There's one. So we've got quite a few catacombs actually up north. That's a place to probably go, to be honest. There's one here. So what catacombs do is they store nearby death, right? If there's death nearby, they just store it to a certain level. They're always in holy sites, forgive me, but look. So a focal point for death, all death generated in neighbouring locations will be absorbed into these vast underground tombs used by mages skilled in the arts of necromancy to exploit. So it can accumulate 200% death, right? It can never get to 300, but it can accumulate 200. That's really, really useful to you guys. I think it adds on top of the modifier there anyway. So why am I telling you this? Well, it's good to think, right, okay, I don't want to do a load of death in my own backyard, potentially, because that's going to hurt my victory. So when you're dropping the plague, like this queendom, right, is a perfect, potentially, example here of where I might want to drop a plague. Let's see if they've got a docks. They have... Sorry, a Suez is what I need, isn't it? Let's have a look, see if there's one here. No sewers, unfortunate. So we might have to use a library mind. But either way, these are the sorts of things to consider when you're planning to use these agents, and how you're going to get the best bang for your buck out of them. Okay, sewers here. This would be an ideal. There's so much death here anyway, so that's I think where we're going to go. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to level up my Warlock. I'm going to get a couple of levels. I'm going to try and get another level in death, and I'm going to show you some of the skills, what I think of them, which ones I would focus on, which ones I tend to not focus on as much. Some of the weaknesses maybe of death, some of the strengths of death, and then we'll probably cover just broad brush things that you want to do when you're using this magic school. So we'll come back in a little bit and talk about it, but that's sort of a very quick introduction, guys, and I will focus on some of these strategies a bit later as we get into the video. Alright, we'll cut back in a bit where we've done a bit more gameplay. So something to note when you're playing with a mage and using either geomancy or death, guys, then obviously in the focus in this one is death, but it takes 3 arcane secrets to level up your mage in the next level of the thing. So in this case, to get death up to level 2, we need 3 arcane knowledge, 3 arcane secrets. That's actually that's not the easiest thing to get, guys. That takes, you've got to infiltrate 3 libraries and you've got to research them study them with your mage, which can obviously take a little bit of time. And I mean, I managed to plow through this real quick because thankfully I started next to the primal font, so I just immediately took control of it and started drinking from it, which is why you've got a Warlock with 3, 6, 5 and 4 in his stats there on the left. Just here, because he's drank from that primal water like 14. But this isn't no easy feat necessarily, guys. This does take a little bit of time, and then I think the next time I want to get to level 3, it's going to require 5 arcane knowledge. And what's going to happen, and what's already started to happen, by the way, is because I brought a mage into play with a level 1 of any magic, other heroes, and I think it's only mages, but I could be wrong. It could be normal heroes can become mages in reaction to this, but anyway, it's by the by. Other heroes are starting to learn arcane secrets as well. That does 2 things. 1, it stops us being able to learn them, and 2, it means they can level up their own magic. So when they're attacking us, they're stronger. Alright, so it's a real. They can defend better against certain things as well. They can increase prosperity. They can do beds for harvest. They can attack you, obviously, like with the special Kamehameha thing they do. But it just means they're already starting to plan against us. So the quicker that you start this, guys, the quicker you're going to get attacked back with it. And it's a bit of a balancing act. If I was playing this for real, as it were, I wasn't just doing a demonstration here and a bit of a tutorial, I probably wouldn't even touch magic, even get a mage, until I'd infiltrated maybe 5 libraries, and hopefully within a pretty good proximity, get other things going to keep heroes busy, and then bam, drop your Warlock, eat them arcane secrets and start powering up immediately. Anyway, something just to bear in mind, guys, it can be a bit better to delay the progress of this until you're in a position where you feel a bit more settled in the game and you've got other things going on. I'm rushing this just to show you the skills here, and what this will unlock is further abilities, further things that I can cast with this mage. So it doesn't show you them here, but at the minute he's got 2 spells, as it were. We'll come to these in a second. I'll try and show them off actually, because they're pretty wicked, guys. I'll show you them. They're really, the death level 1 spells aren't too bad, so we'll cut to them in a little while. But yeah, just learn level 2 first, and then we'll crack on with that. Okay, so let's have a look at Warlock Longjian's death magic available now. He's level 2, guys. So I'll do the level 3 in a little while, but he's got these 4 spells here. 5 spells, forgive me. So you've got, so let's start at the level 1 spells, the spells you start with, right? You've got Death's Shadow, and you've got Dead Skeletal Servitor. You've also got Macabre Fortress, but that just simply protects you while you're casting, like the Geomantic Fortress, right? So let's actually start with this. This is very relevant to both this and Geomancy, but this makes a shield effectively that you can use, like an Arcane Fortress, which will protect this caster while he's casting spells, as it says there. So if other Geomancers, and that's all there are for the heroes, Geomancers, attempt to assault him from a distance using their sort of spells, the attack, caster spell, as it were, the fortress will take damage instead of the caster. So it'll take 10% damage, forgive me, per like 1 HP of damage that would be dealt to the caster, which can be really good at keeping them alive, actually. Like it says there, if its strength is lower than 100%, it has a chance to let damage slip through. and it decreases the death modifier strength by 10%. So whatever's there now, it decreases by 10%. I think it might be 15, because at the bottom in yellow there you can see it requires death magic level 1, and for the death magic here to be at least 15% charge. So curious as to what that is, but it can be good to use that as a shield. The problem is it takes time, right? So you're doing that, you're doing, how many turns you do on that, and then you do a spell that's actually useful. I wouldn't use this certainly to begin with. Maybe in the late game, I'll tell you when you use this, but for now you probably don't need to use this at the early game, especially before turn 100, right, while the heroes are just sort of getting their wits. Skeletal Servitor is a minion, so it's more summoning the death magic. So you cast this, and it uses 20% death, I think, as a minimum, and it creates this Skeletal Servitor. This is a Skeleton Warrior, forgive me. So it's got, as you can see there, health 5, attack 3, defense 0, cost 1. That's cost as in the command cost. By default, I think that Warlocks only start with 2 commands, so you can have 2 of these. They're not very good, guys. Personally, I don't use them. You might use them in a pinch if you're trying to protect yourself from being attacked and you've got a glut of death with nothing better to do with it, but rarely would I use this personally. This Death Shadow is awesome. You've seen me do this a few times, but so what this does is it absorbs the death, max 100% to form a ghast. This creature will spread shadow automatically to human settlements until eventually the human heroes kill it, so it slowly gains menace, right, as it's doing things. Its stats depend on the level of death here and your caster's level, so the more death, the more powerful it is. And you'll see the health of the creature as well when it's made, depending on the amount of death. And the potency of shadow that it spreads. This could just be incredibly good, guys, right? Level 1, if you're just doing if you take a mage, I don't know, a blood mage is a classic, right? Take a blood mage, and you've got a few arcane secrets. You probably, come into the late-ish game, you haven't got much to do with them apart from, you've got no time to get to things like the hunger or the real late game stuff. It could be a good idea just to drop a cheeky little bit of death into them. It takes 2 secrets. And then you can take Death Shadow and cast that wherever you want, and it is such a brilliant spell. Quite a lot of I think quite a lot of players will take a Warlock just to make secrets out of dead souls, as it were, so you can create secrets if you're struggling to get them out of souls that are left by heroes or rulers or what have you, anything that's died, right, and a human that has died, you can use that soul to create an arcane secret. But it creates a lot of profile of menace. So what I think a lot of people do is they do that. They also do this Death Shadow with them. They just take a death. It's such a good spend, guys. It's fantastic, this. We'll see. I'll probably end up doing this here, to be honest. Although you have seen a lot of it. I'll have a think. Anyway, the level 2 spells for death are Enslaved Dead and Faceless Servitor. Let's do Faceless Servitor first. So this is the best, apart from Ogres, this is the best minion. Right? They're amazing. It's, as you can see there, look at its stats. Recruits a Faceless Servitor minion, health, HP 8, attack 2, weak attack, defense 4, guys. 4 defense. That means they've got to do 12 damage to break through this. Cost 1. 1 command. What the flip? Chaos. Brilliant. It needs 30% death to make them, which is fairly hefty. But yeah, absolutely fantastic minions. This is well worth doing. And they block attacks from casters, hard. Not always, but they're very good at defending attacks as well, just because they're glut of defense. And then you've got the Enslaved the Dead. Overshadowed, really, by the level 3 death, but still, it's a thing. So you raise the dead at the location into an Enslaved Dead army with health equivalent to the level of death here, max 50%. This army will follow the caster and attack any human settlement they find themselves in, but if the caster is killed, the army will revert to an untamed dead outside of your control and will simply attack the nearest human settlement until destroyed. They lose max HP every turn as well. It's not amazing, guys. Like, let's say I did this now and just stayed here. This army would crush them. That army wouldn't. Let's have a quick look here. I could probably take this nation if I wished. Is this a one nation? Yeah. 45, I don't know if I could take that. I could definitely take this one, I think. But possibly not this one. The problem is, as soon as you go into this location, they all start attacking. So sit in the wastes, try and build up strength and then go there. yeah, it's difficult to manage, guys. So probably the best thing to do to start with, although it does create more death, of course, because we're killing stuff. Curious. Maybe we should just do this. What do we think? Maybe I should just enslave the dead, try and take this. There is catacombs here as well that I can infiltrate. And so how much death they're holding, that's unfortunate. I'd like to know that. A bit. Let's try it. Let's do the Enslaved Dead and see how we get on. You've seen Death Shadow. These two are just strong minions. You know what Macabre Fortress is. I might take Faceless. How much death is here? I think it's 80 odd. 78. Let's do Enslaved Dead real quick. 11 turns, even with 6 lore. You know, it takes the time, guys. Not the quickest thing. And you can get attacked now, right? This is going to signal to other things that I'm doing this, and they're going to potentially try and attack him. But let's get this out and I'll cut back and we'll see how we get on. So we made the undead army, guys, and I'm not very impressed, if I'm honest. So I made it in from this location here. I took 50 of this death, so it's at 24% now. It was at around 80 before, so it's dropping a bit, like 0.5% each turn, like I say. Took 50% of that death, immediately moved the army to this city here, which I thought were at war with this not long ago. I'm certain, yeah, they're not part of the same nation, nor do I think they're allied either. Let's have a quick look. International relations. Yeah, no, they're not best mates, to be honest. 0. I mean, okay, it's high, but it's not the highest, and it's not. Anyway, literally moved here, cast Infiltrate Power with the Asta, started to learn Secret, army followed me, but so did this massive army, so I'm just getting walloped by this 156 army here, so this is going to do nothing now to this, right, which is the whole purpose of making it. And I think this is the problem, guys. Unless you can guarantee that you're going to be able to get some use out of this following army, they're just not very good. 50 isn't a strong army in this game. Like, this is 150 odd. That's a strong force. But, you know, even 39 is pretty weak. Like, but if you, yeah, not impressive, guys. We'll see. Let's do one more turn, see if. Okay, dismiss that. Yeah, look, they're just absolutely battering it. I'm not even attacking their settlement, which I find bizarre. Hold up, actually. Let's just double check this. Yeah, they're just walloping. Curious as to why that is. Oh my god, we've got another one in, look. I think it's because they were made there, they treat them as a threat. This army's never even seen them as a threat, which is very strange. So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll try it again. I'll make them in this location, and we'll see if that's better. There is death here, I think. No. We'll try with the weak army here, see if it's any better. See if they can just... Yeah, look, they're coming to attack. And they will win. You know, this and this combined is too much. Strange that this one isn't attacking, but whatever. Is there more death here? Yes, right, okay. So I could always make... I don't think it's very good, guys, right? A 50 army following yet, it just isn't the best. Bear in mind, I could have made probably 1 or 2 gas that would just be like merrily on the way, spreading shadow here without me needing to infiltrate, do anything, and suddenly all the other rulers are getting shadowed. It's increasing my victory. It's making heroes in shadow, which makes them less likely to hurt me. It just doesn't feel great to me, guys. I'm going to continue learning the secret. This army will be killed. Level 3 death is where it's at, but it's a graft to get there, so I'm going to try and get him there. Now I've got up, I guarantee, if I bet you any money, if I make a dead army here, this fortress will attack them. I'd put money on it. What's the death here now? Not even increasing. Shweek. So yeah, it's just not great, guys. I might give it one more go. We'll see how we get on, just to test it out. Anyway, I'll cut back if I try that. Okay, guys. So I've remade my little Enslaved Dead here. I did spend 6 turns, unfortunately. Well, not unfortunately for me, but you know, I made these faceless servitors too, so they're following me around now. They're pretty dope. But that obviously reduced that 6 turns, which is 12 health of the army before I even did anything with it. Interesting though, the orcs did not attack. They did summon an army, but they didn't do anything with it. They never attacked each other, which I was happy for. So then I moved into here. This army immediately is set up on me. I should win this, as you can see. Yeah, it's it's going to be fairly close, but it should be a win. The only negative with this, I could command this, but it's got weak command. The only negative with this, guys, is obviously it loses health fairly quick. However, thankfully, I've thought of this and I've got a nice play experiment, which has given me a fair bit of death, just generally in the area. Not a ton, but it's kicking it up a little bit. So we're getting that death up, guys. Hopefully, I'll be able to do some more funky things with death soon. I have got another arcane secret. I need to get a lot more, which I'll be trying to do shortly. But it's growing on me a little bit. I mean, it's just taking so much time, right? I was at turn like 70 something when I had death 2, and feels like not much has happened. I mean, I could probably death here. No. I mean, where is all this death at? 31. Maybe it's all going to the catacombs. I might go to here next, try another one, and see if I could just wipe out this area. But do you know, I need to get the arcane secret first, but. Yeah, it's certainly not the strongest spell in this arsenal, and I wonder if, for the money as it were, if gas is just better. We'll see. Let's see if I can destroy this with these, and we'll try to see if we can't. We've seen gas a million times, like I said, the others are just minions, so if I can get this destroyed, I'll be happy. And if they create more death, that'll be useful, but still. Then a Ravenous Horde, that's where we need to get to, guys. Let's get to there in a second. Okay, guys, I've done a bit of a play down here, caused some trouble in this northern area of the map. We've got our Warlock, long jam to level 3 in death, so he's got the third and final death spell, which is Ravenous Dead. Now this is awesome, guys. I previewed this I showed this in the preview video. It's pretty damn strong. In effect, what happens is you create this dead army that starts just eating and killing things. They'll automatically go and attack non-enshadowed human settlements, as it says there. The health is equivalent to the level of death, so if you've got 60% death, it's 6% Ravenous Dead, etc. Max 150%. They will feast on any death to increase their numbers, so they'll self-heal, and if they get to a certain size, they'll split into like more than one army, so they can propagate. It becomes redonkulous, guys. So strong, in my experience. I really rate this spell. I think it's very, very, very powerful. They do lose max HP every turn, however, as it says there. Or do they? I'm not convinced on that. But anyway, we'll find out, guys. What I'm going to do here is, if you come to use this spell, I suggest you do a Macabre Fortress first, just to give yourself a bit of protection, and definitely have some of those the blockers there in the form of minions. But yeah, it is worth probably doing the Macabre Fortress. Just take... How much did it take? 15%? Yeah, it's just so... What's the death here? Check the death first. 44. Maybe not then. 65. 42. This is rising there. As you can see, 2 of these locations have been destroyed due to the old death, as it were. What's going on here? No death. No death. No death. No death. Where's all the death at? There is death, but... 130. That's the one I want. Right, let's go to there and do it. Do I just cast it? I'm going to risk it for a biscuit, but I probably should do the Ravenous Dead. I probably should do Macabre Fortress, but I'm just going to try this anyway, guys. See how I get on. Wish me luck. Let's see if I get attacked and killed. And you'll join me again when I've got the Ravenous Dead up, and with fingers crossed, I've just eaten this entire area. Oh, I also I've made 3 or 4 ghasts. I think 4 altogether. 2 of them have been killed, but they've just they just spread shadow like there's no tomorrow. Just shadow, 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 shadow. This is 100% shadows now. This is 44%, 100% shadowed. 61. They're just doing such a... I don't even need to manage them. That's a beautiful thing. They just auto. This is 61%, 86. They in shadow this. No, then it died. They're brilliant, guys. Gas is so good. Anyway, we'll come on to the summary in a bit. Let's just carry on with these. Let's see how our Ravenous Dead perform first. Okay, guys. So you can see we've got a bit of a different game state here. On turn 264, I've got 2 Warlocks, and I'm casting, in the same place, but I'm casting 2 different spells. Guess what happened when I tried to do Ravenous Dead without a ward up? I got killed. So my poor Warlock was killed there, and I hadn't saved in like, I don't know, 200 turns. So I had to get to this stage all again. I've kind of done things a bit differently. I'm happy with how I've done it actually. I've got a lot more plague and a lot more death. I've sort of managed to plague a lot more, and it's just gone haywire, as you can see. I mean, look at this. Look at what, I mean, in fact, let's just, because I am quite pleased with this, guys. Let's just show you this. Plague. I mean, that's a plague. Do you know what I'm saying? That is a flipping plague. That's what we're talking about when we say plague, guys. I've really just kind of nurtured this from here-ish. Just been like, allowing it to spread, giving it a bit of a boost. I haven't touched it past this area, but it seems to have spread anyway. Obviously, they're doing with other things. And then if you look at the death as well, it's a lot better. It's a lot higher. Death. Look at this. 0 in some places, yes, very low. But as you can see, we've got like 191 here. We've got 131, 150, 163. You know, it's higher, guys. I've done better basically. But anyway, point being, yes, you should guard your mages that are casting the high level spells. I think so. I'm doing a Macabre Fortress with this mage, Serays, and I'm doing a Ravenous Dead with Long Jan. We're going to see how we get on with this, guys. I'll cut back as and hopefully when this succeeds. How many turns? I've got 18, so I've got a little bit of a wait. Yeah, bear with me while I cut back to this in a bit, guys. Right, it looks like I was successful getting this cast off, which I'm happy about. I did get pelted with magic again, so I had to I kept the Arcane Fortress, so I had to do it twice actually, guys. It was getting battered, so I'll move one of my Warlocks over here. I started casting Summon Ghast, effectively Death Shadow. He got pelted accidentally, I think, by another caster. They can't target it, it just hits a caster. That's obviously, I guess, in the enemy team, as it were. And yeah, he died immediately. So then I made another one, brought him over here, another death one, brought him over here, made another Arcane Fortress. So this has had 2 Arcane Fortresses, and the strength of it presently is 34%. It's taken some hits, I think 12 damage total. The mage hasn't taken any, but just be aware, guys, this gets a lot of attention for good reason, but there we are. So we've got we're not interested. 150 Ravenous Dead, that's going to consume death, right? We've got a lot of death here, and it's going to split, and then slowly just destroy everything around it. Not sure if it kills the orcs, probably not. I might as well just continue to do this everywhere now, I think, at this point. 24, it's weak. What's the Covenant's death? This is going to go up because of the catacombs. It's just going to crank up because it's sucking all the death from here, I think. What's the death here? 76. Death. 164, that'll do, yeah. So let's go down there and do some there then. And let's take this guy. Oh, I can't be asked away from him. You can go down there too, dude. More law, always. Go to, start it again, Ravenous. The plague is just utter chaos, guys. You do Macabre Fortress, thank you. I know it's going to suck a bit of the power from the Ravenous, but we can deal with that. So it's gone. They've already eaten it. See you later. The Queendom is running. Did it even tell me why it died? Raised by Ravenous Dead. See you later. We've got some vengeance here against. Dismiss that. Queen Errant Rent is pissed off because her friend Carnesis Rent was killed by the Ravenous Dead. Unlucky. They're just so powerful, guys. So powerful. Right, let's skip ahead a bit. See how we get on. And fingers crossed there'll just be Ravenous Dead throughout this entire area once we come back. But I'll cut back in a little while, then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, guys, so I've just checked the last recording that I did on this, because I record these in sections, as you can imagine, while I'm getting to the relevant bit. And it was turn 284 when we last spoke. And I've managed to summon a single army of Ravenous undead here. I tried to summon another one here and failed. That mage was killed, and I thought, I'm going to quit this and try again. And I left it. They split once, they split again. Anyway, I've won the game now. Turn 453. All my agents are gone. I killed them off on purpose because they were annoying me. They was just having to pass their turn, so I killed them off. I have done nothing. I've got no power. I've not spent any power. I've done nothing but leave the book wherever that is, which is done madness, I guess. Let's see, actually. So I've got 10 points from Enshadowed Insane Rulers, 17.5 points, so you're talking 27.5 points there. 30 points. Destroyed settlement, 72 points, right? The vast majority of the points in this game. That Ravenous Dead Horde has gone to become about 6, 7, probably 8 different armies that have just absolutely ruined things. So look at this. All of this is what they've gone through. All of this up here, this gone. I don't think they made it over to here yet. Look at this. They skipped this. I don't know why. They came over the water, but look at this. Just gone. There's no nation here now. It's just empty. Just empty space, guys, where they're just wrecking. And they're still going. Look, they're still here. 3 armies here. 132, 132, 141. 150. Any others? That's 4. I'm sure there was about 6 a second ago. Let's have a look. Here you are. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. They're just crushing it. They're just crushing it, guys. It's too much. They can't. 10. Sorry. This is one cast, yeah? I've done it. I've cast it once. Yes, no, yeah, right. So let's talk about this properly. This spell is incredibly powerful, but you do need to set it up, right? The key, if I'd have cast this on the first attempt, it wouldn't have been anywhere near this powerful, and the reason why is there wasn't any death, or there wasn't as much death for the undead to feed on. What I'd done in this one, as these undead were sort of growing, as the Ravenous were spreading and propagating, I had that plague just everywhere, and that plague really leads to death, and it gives fuel to this fire of undead, right? So you've got a brutal combination of an undead horde that eat death and a plague that makes death, right? And it's just the AI cannot combat this. It's too much. This is almost like a perfect storm, bear in mind, right? A couple of things I should note about this, in all honesty. There's some sort of bug in this version, I think, where armies aren't attacking agents if they've got high profile and menace. Usually they do 1 health a turn. They're not doing that at the minute. So you could just sit agents in locations getting away with murder, which is partly what I did, just to show you guys here what we can do, in the interest of full disclosure. And also, it allowed my play dots to just basically go completely unmolested, bump, 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 down to here, just spreading plague, reducing immunity, spreading plague. And of course, it's a double-edged, it's so brutal plague, right? Because it kills population, makes death, makes the army weaker, makes the location less prosperous, that makes the army weak. It just cripples places, yeah, and it spreads. And then if you've got an undead horde coming off the back of that, just ready to ruin face, eat all that death and become better, and kill people and get better, you get into this snowball effect like this, look. And they just, I mean, I don't need to do anything, guys. Look, watch. Just watch them. Yeah, can't run forever. Look at the percentage. 104 now. More ruins. More death. That's gonna go soon, look. Gone. Ruins. Ruins. Look at this. Just, it is utter. I mean, I love it. It's brilliant. And like I said, I did set this up almost to be a perfect storm here. I wasn't playing, as best I could, but I did, as far as this tactic is concerned, I did put a lot of effort into it. So let's talk about that then. So the strengths of death magic are pretty clear, right? There's a couple of spells that for me kind of outshine. This is probably the best, most well-rounded of all the magic schools. You've got Ghasts at level 1, which is strong. You've got Skeletal Servitors if you're in a pinch, and you can make a Macabre Fortress, which is useful for defending. At level 2, you get that army, Enslaved Dead or whatever they're called. Useful for picking off very weak nations, but fairly limited apart from that. They won't attack orcs, which is good. I'm not sure if they attack Theocracies. I could do with checking that, to be honest, and Dark Empires, but they won't attack orcs. I don't think they'll attack Dark Empires, probably Theocracies, unfortunately. And then you get that Faceless Servitor, which is the best minion in the game, as far as, just for command is concerned, like, except for ogres, effectively. And then you get the last spell, which is obviously Ravenous Dead, and we can see how powerful that is. However, what's the weaknesses of death? Well, you've got to think about where you're going to do it and how you're going to do it, right? I had to dedicate 4 agents to this. Realistically, right, I had my supplicant just kind of messing about, really doing silly things over here, spreading madness. But I had 2 Warlocks and a Hierophant just creating plague. Then I split out to a Plague Doctor just creating plague. And the reason I spread all that plague is to create death. I focused it in areas where there was catacombs, as I could. And that allowed me to steamroll with this Ravenous Dead because I knew how they worked. So what are the key things? You need to make sure you pick an area where you want to dominate with the death. And make sure that's on the cards. You need to set it up first and then strike with it, okay? I will also use a Plague Doctor, by the way, to get arcane secrets for our Warlock. That's something I'll be covering in a specific video for them, I think. So yeah, it does require a bit of forethought. It requires a bit of planning, but once it gets going, it cannot be stopped. Look, it's too much. There's nothing they can do, right? There is literally nothing that they can do. Oh my god, people go mad every turn as well. It's just, yeah. It's ridiculous, guys. As you can see, right, I don't need to say anymore. Look at the destruction they've caused. I can't think of any army in the game that's as powerful. Genuinely. I couldn't imagine making a Dark Empire this strong. Or a Theocracy, anything like that. This is so powerful. But again, it's been set up, right? I've given it that perfect storm of death, plague, plus the Ravenous Dead that feed off it. So have a go at death, guys. It's very good. The one last thing I should mention, of course, is something I covered in my last Shadows of Forbidden Gods video that was around making vampires. I did cover that in the last video. It's a mix between death and blood magic. It's very cool. I don't think it's optimal. You're not going to get results like this, I don't think. But it is very, very fun, and you can obviously catch that in the video around the latest update, version 0.9. In fact, I'll put a link on the screen if I can to that. But that's pretty much it, guys, as far as death magic is concerned. It's a really well-rounded magic school. Hopefully that gives you an idea of how to do it and how to use that sort of magic. I'm assuming you know how to use Warlocks anyway. If you don't, you need to learn arcane secrets from libraries, and then, well, there's a couple of ways you can learn them. You can learn them from libraries by infiltrating the library and then getting there before a hero does it. You can pay money. It's quite a lot of money. I think it's 100 gold, 120 odd gold, to research an arcane secret at a library as well. You can turn human souls into arcane secrets at any location using any agent, actually. It's a lot of menacing profile though. You can also turn plague into an arcane secret as well using the Plague Doctor. It's a unique challenge they have. So a couple of ways to do it, and what you need to do is build up arcane secrets so that eventually you can level up your mage, your caster, and then cast the high level spells. Death is great, guys. Give it a go if you haven't already. Maybe have a focus on it in a playthrough, see how you get on, see if you can maybe wipe the entire map, to be honest. I'm sure you could do better than I. But guys, they're down here. Oh no, that might be. Maybe not. Apologies. Let's have a quick look. They're heading this way, look. They just don't give a damn. Where's he going? Menk. Where's Menk? He's coming down here. He's having a go at these. It's unreal, guys. Look at this. Even water can't stop them. They just, see you later. They're off. They're going. Yeah, guys, give Death a go. Have a play with it. See how you get on. Maybe you'll do better than I. Maybe you'll be able to wipe, like I said, the whole map, which would be pretty funny, I think. Comment if you think that Death is very strong, or if you think it's weak. If there's something I've missed, please obviously let me know as well. Hopefully it'll be refined a bit further. There'll be a bit of a split, maybe some more combined magic skills. That'd be really cool, or magic spells, probably. Forgive me. But yeah, for now, Death is awesome. I mean, look at it. It's absolutely class. As always, thank you for watching, guys. If you like what you see, hit the like button. If you'd like to see more, subscribe to the channel. It really, honestly, it helps so much. And hopefully I'll see you on the next video. Thank you very much for watching.